What's up, everybody? How we doing? Matt Modi here with OddsJam. In this video, just giving you a betting preview between the Elite Eight matchup between UConn and Gonzaga. So both the 1 and 2 seeds are gone in the west side of the bracket, where this Elite Eight matchup obviously is the bracket this is being played in. The 3rd seeded Gonzaga defeated UCLA, the 2nd seed, in just an absolutely insane game between Gonzaga and UCLA. And then UConn is here after 3 pretty much laughers. They haven't even played in a close game. The closest game that they have played in has been a 15-point victory over St. Mary's as the closest game, whereas Gonzaga had 2 pretty close games in their last 2. Obviously, that UCLA-Gonzaga game just being absolutely insane. So I mentioned in this video, I'm going to be giving you a betting preview using OddsJam and the line shopping tools that are completely free to use. So for those of you that are looking to do the same thing that I am doing, just go to oddsjam.com, sports, March Madness, and you can look into these games for completely free. So I mentioned the insanity of the Gonzaga-UCLA game. Gonzaga was down by as much as 13 or 15 points in the first half, came back, took a double-digit lead in the second half. UCLA could only manage to score 10 points in like 12 minutes of basketball in the second half. And then UCLA scored 10 points in the last 40 seconds of the game to take a 1-point lead with a couple, maybe 10, 12, 15 seconds left. Gonzaga comes down, hits a 3 to go up 2. UCLA couldn't score at the other end. And there we have it. Gonzaga moves on to the Elite Eight. Just an absolute insane game between Gonzaga and UCLA. Looking at the matchup here between Connecticut and Gonzaga, it's kind of been pretty interesting in terms of line movement, right? So the spread opened up with Connecticut at like 1.5, 2, depending on where you looked. The money line opened up at minus 121 and has quickly been bet up to where you see it now. Connecticut money line best offered at minus 130. Gonzaga moneyline best offered at plus 117, but money is flowing in on Connecticut for this game. One thing that I thought was interesting, so I pulled up this page, I pulled up the odds, and then I kind of got myself all set up to be ready to record. I clicked refresh on the odds, and the spread, since literally the 10 minutes that I refreshed it, as 10 minutes went by, the spreads started really coming in on Connecticut, meaning Pinnacle had their main line at Connecticut minus 1.5. Refresh. Now Connecticut is offered at minus 2 while still favoring Connecticut at that number. And then if you look at the other sharp sports books, right, I mentioned Pinnacle. The other books you want to look at are BetOnline, Bookmaker, and Circa. Bookmaker had this as spread at minus 2, but they had it at minus 110 each way. Now they're favoring Connecticut at minus 115 with Gonzaga at minus 105. Circa had this opened up at Connecticut minus 1.5. Now they have it at Connecticut minus 2. So they are receiving money on UConn as well. So this is a long-winded way of me saying I'm on UConn on this game. The money has just been flowing in pretty aggressively on UConn. I don't hate their money line at minus 130. It beats the VIG line of every single sharp sportsbook, BetOnline and Circa at minus 132, with Pinnacle at minus 131. Now, obviously, it doesn't beat the no VIG line of these 3 sportsbooks at this current moment in time, so it's not currently a positive expected value play. But if I had to guess, I would guess that this minus 130 on FanDuel does end up being a positive expected value play when it's all said and done, right? Up until game time for this game. But if you don't want to risk the minus 130, for those of you that have play up, I recommend locking in UConn minus 1.5 at minus 116 odds at play up. It's a little bit juiced, but if you just look at the other sports books, right, we're getting a pretty good price on UConn minus 1.5. So that is going to be my official play, UConn minus 1.5, minus 116 at play up, or Connecticut money line at minus 130 on FanDuel. I think both of those are good. As you can tell, I am all over riding UConn in this game. I think Gonzaga, they just struggle too much defensively, and Connecticut is one of the most well-balanced team in the entire nation, led by Dan Hurley, who's a great coach. Mark Few is a good coach as well, but this just isn't the Gonzaga teams that we are used to seeing in the past. Yes, Drew Timme is still there, but they're not as good as they have been the past couple years. And I think that Connecticut might be one of the best teams in the nation, especially obviously one of the best teams left. They're especially one of the most well-balanced, which always goes far in March, which it has as well. So that's going to be it. Again, riding with UConn on this one. If you're tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to check out OddsJam Line Shop for free for yourself. Hit me up on social media at my Twitter handle that you see on the screen here. Link is in the description of the video. And that's it. So I appreciate everybody watching and have a good one.